Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit longer and I'm going to go a little bit slower. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to go through the settings that I have set up, and you're going to copy them onto your own site. You're just going to check what I've checked and you're going to do exactly as I've done. You know, we could sit here and talk about why we do this, but I think the numbers really speak for themselves. Well, the numbers speak for themselves. Okay, so we're going to go through all of these: the header, footer, ads, everything over here, and you're also going to set that up on your own site. So first thing is, you come in header style. We selected style 7, and if I go too fast you can replay this and just do as I have done. So select style 7, and it just looks nice, the logo and the menu placed nicely. Top bar, it might already be selected. Some of these might already be like that, but just in case, I'm going to go through all of them. You'll click top bar layout, main menu, keep this, no preloading, keep the smart snap, and show the header logo. Logo and favicon, get your logo made. We will cover that in a different video. But that's self-explanatory. You just need these dimensions. To be honest, I might not even make a video on it because that's how simple it is. I'll give you some logo examples and I will post them in the group, and you can just get someone from Fiverr and get a logo made using these dimensions. Okay, and none of this matters over here because we don't send traffic from mobile. Okay, so to the next thing, footer. Style 1, footer info content. You can just go to the bottom of my site and see this there, and copy and paste and make some changes if you wish. Footer logo, same thing, as the other logo, make it a bit smaller. These are the dimensions. Footer background, no repeat, auto, and bottom. Sub footer settings, on, and copyright 2015, mypackage.com. Just replay that if I went a bit too fast. Ads, this is where we're going to insert our AdSense codes. So we only use SmartList 6 and sidebar ad, but I'm going to go through that in a different video. Okay, template settings. Now you go on smart sidebar, you have that. None of this matters. Breadcrumb, this, none of this matters. That can stay as it is. That can stay as it is. Attachment template as it is. Author. Okay, so this one here. So neither of them have been selected, it seems. Select sidebar position and default sidebar. And if you want, you can actually click on these and test whichever one you want. It doesn't, you don't need to have your site looking exactly like mine. Just the post pages need to look like mine. The home page, you do as you wish with it, and you can make it look as different as you want. Using these different templates over here. Okay, so page template, sidebar position, disable comments on pages. You don't have to do that. You could actually enable comment on pages. That would be good. I'm actually going to enable it for now. This and this one. Save, search, this. The sidebar position. It's all selected. It's already going to be like that. None of this matters from here on. Okay. Now categories. Style 1, grid 1, grid style 1. Nothing's been clicked here, and you can actually test this. You can see whatever you want to do with it. This is just a normal pagination. Custom sidebar plus position. As for the categories, that doesn't matter either. You don't need to touch any of these. It's already in default, and leave it as default unless you want to test something and you want to see what you can do. You can make some changes, and like I said, your site doesn't need to look exactly like mine, but I don't make any changes to mine because why fix something that isn't broken? We're bringing in results, and I'm just going to keep it as that. Now next thing is post settings. Okay, post and custom post types. Now make sure you remember this. Okay, show categories tags, yes. Show tags, yes. None of it, but this stuff doesn't really matter. You could show your post views, you could show your comment count. But this is how I've kept it. I don't show my post views just because if competition was to come on my site, they won't know which of my articles are doing great. Okay, that's it on there. Default post template, default. Featured images, use lightbox, doesn't matter. None of this matters. Okay, you can do it as you wish. Date article, I have yes. By category, one row related posts. That's it. Sharing, top article sharing. You know, this could also be on. I don't know why I haven't. Save settings. And yeah, that's it. Perfect. So if you want to add your own Twitter username, which you want people to promote, then when they share it, they'll use your Twitter username. Otherwise, it'll automatically, by default, use your site name. Over here, more article box M6 has been selected. And this is relevant. You know, I've kept this off because I have no idea what it is. Okay, 2 posts and never. We'll come down, we're on block settings. All of them are on. So remember that. All of them on. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 are on. And then MX4, MX5, and MX6 are also on. So you know you can see that MX4, MX5, MX6 on. MX11, 12, 13, 14, you know, until the end, they're all on. They're, you know, checked. Okay, 7 days post sorting, that doesn't matter, I haven't got it on. And background, this, you know, just leave it as it is. None of this matters. Nope. Theme colors. Okay, now this is where you decide what colors, you know, are gonna go along your site. Okay, so you can see I've selected theme accent color red, and you know, every time I go over one of these, red appears. Headers background color, you know, is black. So you know, we have black headers, and that's it. You decide what color you're using here. Okay, I've just, you know, this is everything I've chosen. If you want to copy it, you can. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. What's going to matter in this is always going to be the content and the ads. That's it. Not how the site looks like. Obviously, the post pages need to look as I show, because that's what brings in those conversions. You know, that's how we get those clicks and make that money. Alright, perfect. Theme fonts, I've left all of this as default. Custom code, no custom code. Analytics, over here you can just go, I'll show you later. When you go in AdSense, you know, when you're setting up your analytics, it'll give you a code and you paste that in here. So you go into analytics, paste it in here. I never use Google Analytics, so I'm not actually going to create a separate video on it. I'll just post it in the Facebook group on how to set up Google Analytics if you wish. Alright, and social networks, if you want to add in Facebook for it, your Twitter, Instagram, add it all in, it doesn't matter. But if you have it, it's good. You know, when content goes viral, people will be sharing it everywhere. That's up to you. This, nothing, import, export, and that's it. You know, if you want to, I could probably get all of these settings, to be honest. And I'm just seeing this for 1 second. The strings, you can either copy them and move them to another server. So I could actually give you this. You know, I didn't actually see this because I never see, my team sets up my sites. I don't even deal with the techie stuff. But from the looks of it, I could give you this code, which I will. I'll attach it below and you can test it out. Okay, and you get that and you paste it in here and import theme settings, and all of a sudden you're gonna have all the settings that I have on my site. How amazing is that? Alright, so I'll attach that below, but otherwise, you know, you kind of, at least I went through the settings, and if that for some odd reason doesn't work, then you know exactly what to do. Alright, this video was a bit longer than the others, so I'm actually going to see you in the next video, and we're just going to go over some quick graphics, you know, logo, footer logo. I did say I'm not going to create a video on it, but then I just thought, why not? I'll just quickly, you know, shoot a video on how to use Photoshop and create a quick logo. Alright, see you in the next video.